I Lost My Body is a French animated film and it is directed by Germain Clapin. I really hope I pronounced this person's name correctly. I just don't know how it's pronounced. This is the story of a young man called Nafol. Nafol is probably his name. I suck at names. I don't know how to pronounce them at all. He is gone through a lot of emotions as a young teenager. You know, in his life, he is trying to find a purpose. And so he falls in love with a girl named Gabrielle. However, in another part of the town, we have a singular hand, a chopped off hand, pretty much a dissected hand. And this hand is roaming the streets. And so it's managing to escape and determined to find its body again. That's the story of this film. Yep. Simultaneously, I feel like this film has received a lot of buzz, but also it's not that popular. I don't think people really have seen this film enough. This film is up for a nomination for Academy Award Best Animated Feature, and it deserves to be. This is something else. This is a film that people just don't make anymore. Less and less, every year after year, less films are being made, and this is one of them. This film was just lovely. It's a very poetic one, and I feel that it should be applauded for its realism, because it has a lot of it. It's a surreal film, but at the same time, it can be quite real too. What is this review? There is so much to talk about with this film. It's definitely one of my highlights of 2019, and I'm so excited to make that list of the best films because this is going to be one of them. The film has many layers and messages throughout that it's only just 80 minutes long though. 80 minutes long, you're thinking, okay, you can have all these messages and meanings and themes and conventions all into 80 minutes, and it works. It's about loss, the losses in life that we all go through, many of us go through, and how we try and deal with it, and how for every loss there is the idea of hope. And this film delivers that message in such a beautiful, poetic way with dramatic purposes. I was there throughout the entire runtime. I was just there through the edge of my seat, watching it on my laptop on Netflix, and it really spoke to me in a bit of a non-cliche way. It did. Okay, fine, it's cliche. The film is a very simple animation, but at the same time, it's so surreal. It is such a surreal idea. Yes, it is slow, but it's just so appealing to look at and to watch that you don't mind, that it doesn't become a problem to you. It didn't become a problem to me. At the first part, it is slow, but you're witnessing just visual attraction on the screen that you can't help but appreciate it. The animation is mesmerizing. I've always said that Japanese animation is always my number one favorite animation, followed by Disney Pixar. But this film contains elements from both types of animation, and it's just as good, or perhaps maybe even better. It really is beautifully crafted, and there are less and lesser films like this every year. This is not just one of the most appealing animations. It's not just because of that. This film as overall is an incredible one. If you look for original films with ideas and a good mastery of technical aspects put in a film, this film, it's for you. It's calling to you to watch and to appreciate, and you will, I promise you. Because it has its own style, its own substance. It's told in such a quiet and a observant way, because you have to pay attention. You have to pay close attention as to what is going on in the screen. Only then is when you will actually enjoy the whole experience. And I'm glad that I was paying attention, which I usually do, which I always do, yes. It requires complete focus. That is the kind of film that we have with I Lost My Body. The film, it makes you feel sad and yet feeling quite bizarre and odd. That's the film. I love films that literally control you. It controls your emotions. You can't help but feel those emotions because they're the best of you. and that's what the film grabs, that attention. And that's what this French film does perfectly. This is the film that people will be too lazy to see. I can see it already, to be honest, because I don't think many of my friends have actually watched this film apart from me. I just happened to watch it during Christmas time, and I loved the experience. It really grabbed my attention throughout, and I definitely see it becoming that sort of film that people just won't see or overlook it or underrate it or whatever. That is the film. But I think once people start watching it, they will not stop thinking about it. I can't stop thinking about it with what the message was, what it was trying to give. It really has that deeper meaning when you have to really pay attention and probably watch the film twice to really, really understand and appreciate what's going on. The transitions in terms of the hand roaming around the streets and cutting back to the young man, it's handled in a great way. The editing is on point in this film, and it just works in terms of balancing what the emotions must be running through in our minds, because at one scene it's so real, the other scene it gets very, very real. It's surreal and real. There are some sequences that just take over you. It takes the viewer on a singular, strange journey that just buckles you up. And you may not know what the literal destination of that place is, but you don't mind hopping on board. You know, it's one of those films that you spontaneously just sort of see, and you're just into it unexpectedly, and it's a nice surprise. That's how I can describe this film. And it's exciting. We don't know where the destination is, but it leads you to a very satisfying one. The scenes in which the hand is roaming around the streets, places, train tracks, rats, biting the hand, sniffing the hand, it's all such in impeccable detail, close-up shots. It's very engaging, and although I see a lot of inspiration from the Disney Pixar films, especially Ratatouille, because they're both French, it's a great influence and a great inspiration that the director has taken and used it in its own style, in its own unique, original way. And I love that. I absolutely love that, because I was jaw-dropped and mesmerized with those sequences. It would be a complete and utter shame if I did not mention the score of this film. The music used in this film, composed for this film, is nothing short of just beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so catchy as well. I can't stop listening to it. There is that one specific theme that is playing throughout the entire film, and every time it's on, it just adds that another element, that another brilliant sort of layer to the film with emotion, genuine emotion. In terms of flaws, perhaps the ending could have been stretched a little bit longer. And overall, basically, I'm trying to say is that perhaps maybe the film could have been a little bit more longer, perhaps about 10 more minutes, perhaps wouldn't have been so bad, making it a 90-minute film. I felt that you get a resolution in terms of a conclusion in the film, but I felt like they were trying for it to be a bit too ambiguous, which I like, because I like the message of what they were trying to do, and I felt like they definitely delivered that. But I think in terms of trying to make it perfect, they could have gone back with a few other scenes in the film throughout the entire film and added more elements to it in terms of making it more ambiguous. I just think they could have worked on some ways that would make it fit to the message that it was trying to give. And in ways, the problem is a flaw and a praise, because I want the film to be longer because I loved it. Basically is what I'm trying to say. I Lost My Body has such a literal and a metaphorical way of dealing with life. The reason that we keep on continuing is the idea of hope, to find that missing piece. In this case, love is an example for this film. Don't miss this one, guys. Really, do not miss this one. It's only 80 minutes long and it's worth your time. I'm going to give I Lost My Body an A-. definitely check this out, guys. Thank you for watching. Much more to come very soon, including my best films of 2019, and I'm working on that right now. Thank you.